All right, dear ones, I got a download for you. But let me state this. My channel talks simply about truth and how truth brings about freedom. My creed, the awakened by truth creed. Okay? I choose truth over illusions. I choose healing over bitterness. I choose compassion over judgment. I choose courage over fear. I believe transformation is possible. Okay? I believe every scar can become wisdom. I believe every person has value. I will speak honestly. I will listen with empathy. I will encourage without condemning. I will bloom without waiting for permission. And if one person finds hope because I chose to share my story, then every step of this journey has been worthwhile. Okay? Now, let me go on to say, some of this you may not understand to the magnitude of which I bring it. And it's okay, because it's not for you then. And that's okay. Okay? Because I'm not here to please people. I'm here because I'm a truth teller. I'm a seer. I'm a prayer warrior. Okay? And one of those that I was told, you're not the only prayer warrior. That's not what I'm talking about. Okay? Everybody has an assignment. Okay? But when people comment like that, see, they don't want to have issues, because no one's trying to up any type of title or anything like that. I'm just claiming what my purpose is and who I am. So the problem is with them, not me. I just pronounce my purpose. Okay. Truth telling. Let's talk about covens. Let's talk about cults. Let's talk about witches, and let's talk about warlocks. Let's talk about religion. Let's talk about all of those assemblies that they cover that up in church. All of that. You got those that sow this and this all up in religion, but they all up in the coven. They all up in the cults. They have these orgies. They have all these rituals. They do all of these things that are behind the scene. But then when it's faced up, oh, it's like, oh, I'm so this and I'm so, all of that. But behind the scene, oh, if walls could talk. See, let me just tell you. See, I'm not just talking it. I lived it. With relationship after relationships after relationships. I didn't understand it to the magnitude of which I do now. Okay? See, I've had a very dysfunctional upbringing. Codependency, abandonment, okay, where I was told I would be nothing. My name, didn't even know my name other than MF, you SOB, this and that, you won't be nothing. I should have flushed you down the toilet. Things such as that, okay? And this is from your blood family that's saying all of these things. So then you start having the what? The poor self-esteem. You're nobody. Nobody cares about you. All of this. So what happens? What is created? A people pleaser. Why? Because you're craving that love. You're just craving that attention. You know, and you don't really understand why you're subjected to all this dysfunction. You don't. But you know why? Because it's spiritual. They had issues in their upbringing, which brings about the issues what I had to incur. Okay? But the part that I love the most is the understanding now, because there was a lot of bitterness. There was a lot of unforgiveness, which was the foundation which brought about bitterness, hatred, to the point where, let me tell you something. I don't have not one picture of my childhood. You know why? 'Cause I threw them in the trash. I wanted to delete that whole part of my life because it was horrible. Absolutely horrible. From my sister, from my grandparents, it was horrible. But I had to understand, or going into the understanding, and it came about with my healing. See, people don't know your story. They look on the outside, but they don't know what you've been through. See? And who has kept me is the Most High. That's all I can say on that. Is the Most High has given me strength. Now, I'm not telling you that it didn't hurt. Oh, yes, it did. Oh, yes, it did. And whatever I could to please, that's just what I did. And that's what a lot of people do. They either cover it up with what? Drugs, any sex, materialistic things, anything to cover up the pain. And they do things to bring about that attention that they didn't get when they were a child. And it stems into adulthood. So then they go and they reach out, they try to get that from different people in relationship. That's where the ones that the empaths, or those that had a dysfunctional life, that's where, you got those wolves in sheep clothing, narcissists, Jezebels, all of those evil ones. They prey on them. They pray because they know. That's why what they do is they seek all the information from you. Oh, tell me about it. We're going to put everything on the table. Yeah, right. And then they use that against you. They use that to manipulate, to control, okay? And to bring you to nothing. So you got to watch out for that. But how you can do that is healing. You can only see the physical, but when you heal and go with inside, you got to sit with yourself, and then you just go and you say, by yourself. You don't need all this with these people. You don't need that. You need quietness. You need a calming type music. No words, just the hertz. The channeling, the signaling, that's it. Get out in nature. Take your shoes off. Walk in the grass. Hug a tree. Talk to the birds. Talk to the flowers. Whatever. The universe. Just talk. You'll then start seeing with your third eye. The pineal gland right here. Spiritual. That's all that matters. It's in the spirit. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities and rulers and darkness of this world. We're in battles that we cannot see. So you cannot fight that with the flesh. Okay? Now, I say all that to say, you ain't going to never stop. It's not going to stop. You just got to know and face it. But how you face it is through spirituality. When you go within and you're seeking advice from the spirit, seeking advice on what to do, how to do it, when to do it. Okay? Man, I'm going to tell you something. Woo, boy. Everybody's purpose is different, and the way things happen to each individual is different. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It's not. But when I tell you, sometimes, I mean, you be facing, see, we talking about hell and heaven. It's right here. You're either going to live hell in the mind, or you're going to live heaven in the mind, or you, either way, that's where it is. Because even in the book, it says what? Heaven on earth, hell on earth too. Same thing. Same thing. Come on now. You either gonna live on, you're gonna either live in hell here, or you're gonna live in heaven here. It's just that simple. Okay. But the main thing that I am channeled to speak to you all tonight about is being you. Being you, your trueness, your authentic self. Not trying to be like anybody else, because you can't. And it not be effective. You can try to duplicate, but it's ineffective. You're still laying dormant because you're not being who you are. And which is so precious, but you got to go within and find out who you are. And you won't be able to know unless you go within. My relationship, man, I'll tell you the truth. I just, and I gather, now I know. Because, my empathic heart just wants to fix everybody, just want to love everybody, which I am so glad that even the ones that has really, oh man, when I'm talking about abuse, I've gone through some abusive relationships. That last one was a doozy, boy, I'll tell you. One time I stood there, he slapped me 3 times, and I stood there. And I'm like, what now? What? But see, you got to understand something. And you probably say, nah, you know what? That's just one of the, why would you? See, for one thing, that right there, don't never say what you would do or wouldn't do. Because, you know what? You wasn't there. You wasn't there. You don't know. You don't know why I stood there. You don't know why I didn't retaliate. You don't know. You know why? Because I didn't. Not until I went inside myself and sought the root to my issues. See, that part. See, we can judge. We can do all that right there. But see, that person had it. He had issues and still got them. Because you're still stalking. You're still doing all that. You and your partner. All that stuff. Witchcraft. Voodoo. Them covens. You're grouping. You're doing all that. Sexual orgies. All that to try to demise and put me to death and all that. But the cops know. They know all that. They see all this. Y'all ain't hiding nobody. Y'all ain't hiding nothing. All this is out. So ain't nothing, whatever happens to me, y'all the one going to be uncovered. If you ain't already. Because let me tell you something. What happens is when you come against the Most High's chosen, you're bringing damnation on you. Y'all. Not me. Not only for you, not only you, but your family and your family. That it's a proven fact when you're coming against me. Because my heart is with the Most High. I'm not even of myself. He has really transformed me. I'ma love you regardless. But if you ain't coming near me, you're snakes. And snakes, you don't trust snakes. Okay? That part. But what he want me to tell you, the universe, is this. What you do in the dark is already uncovered. I see you. And not only do I see you, I call judgment and justice The Most High does that. And see, when I give that over to the Most High, you're going to see a whole lot. You're going to see a whole lot. You're going to feel a whole lot. See, it's not about witchcraft. I don't do that. I don't do voodoo. I don't do hexes. I don't do any of that. I don't do love spells. I don't do none of that junk. I don't do graveyard. I don't do none of that mess. But I'm going to tell you something. That stuff is real. But see, the thing is, when the Most High tell you, you're covered. You're covered. He give me things that I need to do, and I do that. I can call every one of you by name. Every one of you. Because it's already been told to the police, so I'm not even worried about none of it. So you can have trackers, you can have cameras, you can do whatever you want to. But if something happened to me, they're gonna pick you up. It's just that simple. I'm not worried about none of that. And everything, believe me, everything that you've done, they know about it. And everything that you've done, I know about it. I don't want nothing to do with you. Nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing. Snakes will bite you. You don't trust snakes. Okay? You know, the world says you turn the cheek. No, you don't. What you do is you call judgment and justice. That's what that is in the spiritual realm. And let the Most High take care of that. See, that's the part right there. That's worse than jail. You understand that? That's worse. Because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't. But you know what? What's so wonderful is I got peace. I got joy. I got happiness. Oh, yeah. You know why? Because love conquers everything. Everything. It conquers everything. You know, even when it comes down to my siblings, when I tell you my block is on point, nobody, I'm not going to allow anyone to bring negativity in my life. I'm not saying you're not going to face it. Oh yeah, but I don't have to receive it. I don't. And I'm not going to argue. For what? When I know the truth. See, it's not even about me being right. This is not none of that. It's about being just and fair and being truthful. That's what's going to follow. That's what's going to cover all. That's what's going to clear it all. Truth. The light is going to uncover the darkness. Isn't that funny? Isn't that hilarious? When you can see. I can say that and be like, you know, people get offended. Every wounded dog hollers. That's all I got to say on that part. But I was compelled, better yet, pushed to come on here tonight and tell you, all the enemies that have come against me, that have talked against me, that have done all the things, I don't know, I think it might have been a year ago. I was in another area, and I was sitting outside on a picnic table, and it was said that whatever that person sows, they're going to reap it. See, what happens, whatever they meant for me, they cause for me to have mishaps. They call for me, for my finances to be destroyed. They call for me to have poverty. They call for me death magic. They call for me to get out, be out of my mind. They call for me not to have my divine partnership. They call for me not to have my awakened family. Okay, all of that. Just they call for me to be fired. They call for me to get all out of my an element and just go ballistic and get out of the character of who I am and my loving inwardly heartfelt. They wanted me to get all out of my character, all of that. See, what happens is when you give attention to that, all that does is inflames them and it gives them energy. I ain't giving you jack. I ain't giving you jack. Now that I'm not. You got enough on your table right now. See, because it's gonna bring the health. You wanted me sick. You wanted me dead. You wanted all of that. You wanted me to be demolished. And I gather that's because you wanted me to come back to whoever that is. That ain't happening. Never in a lifetime. That won't happen. It's over, bro. Period. Past is over. You need to get that. It's over. Okay? What I do advise is that you heal. You heal. Because you got deep hurts from your childhood. From your deep hurts. Father wounds, mother wounds. You got them. And I confronted you with that. And things that were told to you came to pass. Oh, yeah. Whether you want to admit it or not, it came to pass. Oh, you had a Jezebel. You got one right on there. You got one right now. Done took you for everything. And going to continue to do that in your mind, materialistic, all that. You ain't got nothing. All of that. See, but that's through the pineal gland. See, I don't deal with none. I don't deal with negativity. I don't go around looking, listening. I don't talk to anybody associated with my past. Block, block, and block. If you're not coming to bring something to the table that's going to bring about something positive and helping others, that's strong. Block. People may call it, I don't care what you call it. I call it peace and I'm protecting it. Whether it's my children, I don't care who it is. I'm not giving you my peace. It's too precious. And life is precious. And I'm going to enjoy every bit of my life. Okay? You can't destiny swap anything over here. Period. Warlocks, witches, partitioners, any of you all, evil spiritualists, I don't care who you are. You can't touch this one. Period. Why? Because I know I'm protected. Okay? When the truth covers me, that's all it's about. And my angels, when they set me up, oh yeah, that's it. The army, I mean, there's a lot of them. Oh, that means you can't even count. That's who I depend on. See, it ain't about the flesh, all of that. See, what I depend on is for the Most High to send my tribe. See, I'm not about the matrix. Matrix, well, you know what your family, that's your, I don't know. Because your mama could be wrong. Your mama could be wicked and all that stuff. You think I'll drop her too? I'll drop my kid, all of them. No, you're not doing that. I see that. Don't you know the enemy going to use them? Will use them? No. When you tell them the truth and they still want to do that, okay, well, you can do that, but you won't do it with me. Doesn't matter. See, that's what I'm telling you. I'm not of the matrix system. I don't know. I unlearned all of that mess. Not doing it. My life is at stake. Other people's lives that want to be awakened is at stake. I have a mission, and I intend to fulfill my mission. Period. If that means you are isolated for a little bit, that's fine. But I'm only wanting those that the Most High wants, that will place in my life. He will give me my tribe. He's giving me my family. I ain't stunned by all the rest of this mess. By whatever, you know, I know. No. Don't work that way. When you're awakened, you will understand. That's what I'm saying. And I don't take back nothing I'm saying. Nothing. That's why I was saying, this may not be for you. I'm telling you who I am. Truth teller. Truth teller. Plain and simple. That's who I am. That's it. That's my channel. See, because you know, you probably gonna have something to try to do and emulate this or what. You can try it. It's only one original. I'm not doing it for glory or likes and all that. I don't care if you don't want. Turn it off. You can turn it off. You can try to duplicate it. You can do what you want. But for what? You're bringing damnation to yourself. You ain't bringing it to me. I'm being authentic. I am authentic. This is who I am. Nobody can be Juanita. Period. I don't care if you change your hair like her, you do whatever, and get who is that AI or ChatGPT to do the picture and all that stuff and the sound effects and all. That ain't gonna work. Still ain't gonna work. I don't care. I'm doing what I am called to do, which is tell the truth. Send out warnings. Okay? So you've been warned, and you've been warned several times before, but you continue to do the spell work, you continue to do the ritual, you continue to do all of that. And you don't understand and I don't understand why you don't see what's happening to you or your family or whatever. You're going to destroy yourself. You're going to destroy yourself. I'm not doing it. I don't do hexes. I don't do any of that. But I do warn. I warn when I'm compelled to give warnings. So I don't know what else to tell you. You know, I'm gonna stop at that. But I'm on here simply because I'm a truth teller. Okay? And it's not about likes. It's not about subscribing. I could care less if you subscribe. I could care less if you like it. Whoever this deems to hit or view and they receive it, hey, my hat's off to you. Because you know what? I'm going to be that truth teller. I'm going to be Juanita. I'm not changing for anyone. Okay? My heart is pure. My motives are just. And you have a wonderful rest of your night. Because you know what? I intend to. Farewell.